We're going to be talking about how to overcome procrastination and more specifically, why it is that you do procrastinate. Because if you could figure out why you procrastinate, the whole how do I overcome procrastination? It's not even going to be a problem because you're just not going to do it. So procrastination is the thief that steals your dreams. Procrastination for most people is the reason that they don't have what it is that they want. It's not that they're not talented enough. It's not that they're just unlucky. It's not that they lack something in most cases. It's because they procrastinate. They put off doing the work. And it's the work that gets you the life that you want. It's not sitting around trying to law of attract it. It's not sitting around manifesting it or any of that stuff. It comes through working. So I want you to understand that by you procrastinating and putting off the inevitable, you're allowing something outside of yourself to literally steal your dream life. That's what you're doing. And it's not just about making money, guys. This is something that a lot of you, especially if you're younger, obviously making money, it's flashy, it's cool, it gives you freedom. Making money is fantastic, but it's the work is everything in life. It's not just making money. It's not just building a business. It's building a good mindset. It's you getting in the gym. It's you building the relationships with the people around you. All of that is the work. Looks like I'm about to ban somebody. Try not to cry, guys. Oh, man. Oh, I'm crying so much right now. So, I am now going to remove you forever. Goodbye. Look at these tears, guys. Let me zoom in real quick. Do you see this? Oops. Deleted. I'm crying when camera pulls. Like, if you're going to talk about BS, I'm just going to ban you from never watching me ever again. I'll happily do that. So, back to our conversation, guys. Back to our conversation. So, why do you procrastinate? Let's really dig into this. The reason you procrastinate is because you guys like that? The reason you procrastinate is because you're overstimulated. Like, I mean, think about it. And I don't have my phone on me, but if you're sitting there and you kind of have an idea about what you need to be doing, but instead you get your phone and you just start like that on TikTok or on X or on Instagram or whatever, and you just start overstimulating yourself with all these different ideas, what's going to happen? Your mind is going to be so confused, so overstimulated that you're not going to actually be able to sit down and think clearly. And if you don't believe me, I want you to do a test. I want you to test first thing tomorrow morning. Spend the first 30 minutes of your day mindlessly consuming on TikTok or on Instagram or on X. Do it literally for 30 minutes. You have my permission to sit down and just like that for 30 minutes. Set a timer because you don't want to completely destroy your brain. And then the day after that, what do I want you to do? I want you to actually get started without mindlessly scrolling. And obviously, if you're in my campus, you have access to the Daily Mental Power Checklist. If any of you are watching this, do not share it with anybody outside of TRW because it's very powerful. But if you're not inside, what you can do is first thing in the morning, drop down, do some push-ups, drink some water, and don't look at your phone. And compare how your brain feels on both of those days after you do that. A lot of you, you're so overstimulated that like you don't even think that it's possible to not be overstimulated. It's so normal to most of you that you don't ever question it. Like for most people, they mindlessly consume content constantly. They drink way more caffeine than they probably should be. They don't work out enough. They don't have any real life purpose. They don't have any real big goals that they're going after. and they just live in this constant loop of overstimulation, which leads to procrastination. So, how do we solve this? We solve this through not being on our phone so much. Don't mindlessly consume. It's stupid. Don't sit down and, like, example. I was somebody that works for me the other day. First thing in the morning, they drink an energy drink. They had 2 cups of coffee, and then they sat down to work. I was like, bro, I literally just saw you wake up. You went down and you drink that much caffeine all at once. Why? Guess what happened? He had a headache like 2 or 3 hours later. So there's nothing wrong with drinking coffee. I drink coffee every single day, probably 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day, but I use it. I do not allow the coffee or caffeine to use me. You don't need that much coffee and an energy drink and all of that to sit down and get some basic work done. You just simply don't. You don't need to rely on things outside of yourself to motivate yourself to sit down and work. It should be the excitement that you have towards what you're building that gives you motivation, that gives you purpose, that gives you energy. So that's just tied into this whole idea that we're going over about being overstimulated. Stop mindlessly consuming content so much. And even if you think that you're not mindlessly consuming, you're learning, you're whatever, you're still overstimulating yourself. If you find yourself spending hours throughout the day on your phone consuming content, you are overstimulated. You are literally frying your brain. You're frying your dopamine receptors. You should spend more time sitting down having a nice conversation, going for a walk, going and seeing things, talking about ideas and different things like that. Try not to cry, guys. Oh, man. Oh, just crying so much right now. Oh, my God. Look at these tears, guys. Let me zoom in real quick. Do you see this? Okay. Oh, I'm crying on camera, Colson. Yes, I need tissues. Look at this. It's insane. It's embarrassing, guys. I've never gotten this emotional. Oh, oh man.